Help! I've spent $600 on Google Ads and I've generated 0 leads. If this resonates with you, you definitely want to watch this video. Somebody joined my community at teachtraffic.com and reached out to me because they had spent $600 on Google Ads and it had generated a whole big fat 0 in leads or sales, and they're wondering why. So in this video, I'm going to audit their Google ad account to diagnose what's going on, why are they not generating results, where is their bleeding ad spend, and importantly, how they can fix it. If you like this video, don't forget, hit that thumbs icon and subscribe. Let's go do this. So here I am in their Google ad account, and as we can see here, their ads ran for a couple of weeks, and they had 3 campaigns that were running which spent $644 and no leads. So let's see if we can work out what is going on. The first thing I like to look at is conversion tracking to see actually, did it really generate no leads, and has all the tracking been set up correctly? So we're going to go to tools and settings, measurement, and then conversions. Now for this particular business is a legal practice. So this is their website actually, and they do, property law, wills, etc. So really there's 3 main forms of conversion tracking that we want to track. The first is going to be people who click on the phone number, so the call button from the ad. So that's one thing we're going to have to check, is the call extension enabled in their assets. So we'll get to that in a minute. The other thing we want to check is calls from the website. So people who do actually click on the ad, go to the website, and is that phone number being tracked? And the third is the people who fill in the thank you form, or the contact form essentially. So if we go here, we can see that there's an online form with the source being website. So yep, but it's saying no recent conversions. So that might just be because no one's converted. Calls from the ads, that's good, and calls from websites. So that looks all fine, although they are saying the status is no recent conversions. So this probably does need to be debugged a little bit and do some test conversion events using Google Tag Manager. It's beyond the scope of this video. But otherwise, these 3 core elements of conversion tracking are set up and present, so that's a win. So that's good. So at least we kind of know we're getting accurate data going through. So in your account, if you've got a local business and you don't have those forms of conversion tracking set up, you definitely want to do that. Alrighty, so let's have a look at this one. Here we can see the wills and estates. Our average CPC was about $6, and it only had a budget of $10 a day. So let's go into this particular campaign, and we've got separate ad groups for probate process, creating a will, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to go into the specific, we'll go into one of the ad groups actually. And we can see that we have these 3 different types of match types in this particular ad group. Now, it's not really, this is like, I guess, old school way of managing it. And this particular, this used to be modified broad. This no longer exists anymore. So that is now redundant, but it looks like this phrase match variation of this keyword was the one that was generating all the results in the fact that it got the most amount of impressions. So really what we want to do is we want to go to the search terms and see what our ad actually showed for. So there is a difference between the keyword that you're bidding on and the search term that you actually showed for. So really your source of truth of how your ads are performing, and are you actually getting in front of exactly your ideal customer or client, is your search term report. And that's where you're going to find what your ad showed for to see, is it a match? So if we scroll down here, we can see grant of probate New South Wales. I'm not sure what that is, but it sounds like it should be a negative. How long does probate take? So a lot of these sort of information gathering type search terms, which are not really relevant because we want people who know that they want to hire a lawyer for their will. So I would probably look to refine this keyword and possibly add some negative keywords. So they've got a generic list of negative keywords. I think they've got some other ones as well. Yeah, some other ones. But really what we should actually do is, rather than drilling at an ad group level, look in the campaign across all the ad groups to see where the majority of the traffic was coming from So we can have a look at these search terms. So executor of a will, that is good. An online will. So no, so this would be a negative keyword, because anyone who's looking for an online will is not really looking to hire a lawyer. So this would be a negative keyword. These are all the ones that we saw before. Cost of making a will with a lawyer. So this would probably be okay, so long as maybe we mention how much it does cost on the landing page where we send the traffic to, of the cost of it. Wills and let's just get a little bit more data here. And will kits. Okay, Australia Post, that is definitely a negative. So we need to add as a negative online wills and kit as a negative keyword. So there's two ways we could add a negative keyword. We could just click here and click add as a negative keyword. The problem with this, it's going to add it as a negative exact match, when in actual fact, we want the word kit to really never be in, because we don't want anyone who wants a kit. So what we should do actually is, instead of it doing it that way, add a negative keyword here at a campaign level and just type in kit on its own with no square brackets around it, and then click save. And then that will prevent all those variations of will kit, will kits, and all those other types of variations where it would have kit in it from showing up. Supreme Court, we definitely don't want any of those types of things. So really this is a process of going through the search terms for each of the campaigns to see what we're showing for. Let's have a look at this other one, because this one, if you have a look, if I scroll over here, I just minimize this a little bit, our average CPs are crazy high, $30, $24. So you really want to be sure that you are bidding on the right keywords and not showing for the wrong things. You might be wondering, how is our average CPC $30 where the default max CPC for this ad group is $8.70? Well, the truth is you can overwrite that at an ad group level by bidding at a keyword level, which is what has been done here. So I don't really advise that. I also don't advise this broad match variation, definitely not at this stage. So if we do the same thing as we did in the other campaign, and not actually click on a particular ad group, but look at a campaign level at the search terms. So I wouldn't bid on the single keyword conveyancer. Property lawyer, that should be fine. Central Coast conveyancing, I probably wouldn't do this because where they're located is not there. State lawyer, Sydney, that doesn't really relate to conveyancing. So the problem with having a state lawyer here is the ad that's being shown, which if I show you real quick here, talks all about conveyancing. So if somebody types in estate lawyer Sydney, they're going to see an ad for conveyancing. So we want to force the right ad to be shown. So we probably have to add that as a negative keyword. Property lawyer Sydney. And yeah, scrolling down here, we'd probably add some negatives for competitors and locations where they don't service. So definitely areas of improvement that we could apply. One thing, as I said at the start of this video, we want to check that they are running call extensions, which I believe they are. Let's just have a look. They do have the call extensions set up. However, the status is that it's disapproved because it's an unverified phone number. So that absolutely needs to be fixed, because a lot of the leads that this particular type of business will generate will be in the form of phone calls. So this needs to be fixed up. And are they running location extensions? They are, which is great. So that will enable the ads to show up inside Google Maps. What I would also add to this particular account is I would add a dynamic search campaign. I'm a really big fan of dynamic search campaigns, and I probably I'd be trying to not bid as high as those CPCs. So I might try perhaps an automated bid strategy with a target CPA bid strategy to control the cost per click level. And I would also spend more time with this suburb campaign. We get really good results with a suburb campaign. So bidding on the specific suburb, so solicitor, if they're in Bondi Junction, and these keywords are below first page bid. So bidding on more of the suburbs of the areas that they service because they're way cheaper CPCs. So you need to think quite creatively of how you can bid on keywords that aren't super competitive, but are still going to yield you results. One last thing, going back to our ad assets, which are the ad extensions. There are other ones which we should be adding, which is the business logo, which has not been added. I believe the business name also has not been added. And as you can see here, there are all these possible ad extensions that you could incorporate into your ad. So you obviously they've got the location extensions, they've got this. We would check if they've got call out extensions, structured snippet, site links, business logo, business name, and then you can really dominate that first page of Google. So in summary, why their ads were not converting was they needed to add a whole lot more negative keywords. They need to stop doing broad match type keywords, or that old modified broad, which I showed you with the pluses. They need to probably change bid strategy, so they're not having to pay massive high CPCs, or at least they can control the cost per click. They should add a dynamic search campaign, because that also, I find in my experience, has cheaper CPCs and can convert very well. Possibly introduce a retargeting campaign. If you're not sure how to do a retargeting campaign, you can check out our course at teachtraffic.com/challenge. We have a course which we sell for $10 for how to create a retargeting campaign on Facebook and Google. And there's a whole bunch of other information as well. So that's in summary why it's not converting. If you like this video, don't forget, hit that thumbs icon and subscribe. And you can also check out our website, teachtraffic.com, to get my help if you want me to go through your account, just like I've done in this particular account. Thanks so much for watching.